how to come up with a Microsoft Access project. And this time round, I'll be taking you through a past KCSE project, that is 2017 KCSE project. This is the project, and the title of the project is Mwanzo Baraka Management System. It is basically an organization intended to improve economic status of members by pooling of resources. Therefore, we need to have a registration of members, whereby we have been told that during registration, personal details are captured. There is a registration fee of Kenya shillings 2,000 for individuals, and a registration fee of 5,000 for a group. Then an individual member contributes a monthly share. Therefore, we need to note that one down. Monthly share of not less than 1,000. Same case to group members. Only that group members, when you pay 1,000, 200 is considered as the group share. Then members can borrow loans. We have a percent of 1.2 with a repayment, that is the repayment period of not exceeding 3 years, of which the loan is 3 times the shares. We also have the individuals, okay, that is group, the members of a group. They get a loan not exceeding 4 years with an interest of 1%. Then the group itself, if the group decides to come up with a loan or to get a loan, then their loan will be paid in 5 years with a interest per month of 0.8. And then we have been told a very important point: all payments are monthly and made the last day of the month. Therefore, then we have defaulters. If you default, you are penalized 10% of whatever you are supposed to pay. Then the next point is that every end of the year, the organization determines the total interest on loans and total penalties on defaulted amount. 60% is paid as dividends. Then the balance is retained as to run the organization. Therefore, these are our guidelines. Our guidelines are: design a computerized database system with its documentation for Mwanzo Baraka organization that should be able to maintain records of members, maintain registration fee, maintain monthly contributions, maintain records of loan borrowed. Then we have compute loan, the payments and interest, and then we have compute income for organization and generate. Therefore, the keywords maintain, when you see maintain up to number 3, maintain, these are tables. Therefore, you will make sure that you have a table that maintain contribution, registration fee, and the members, that is, and the groups. Therefore, these are tables up to number 4. Then, wherever you get the word compute, you can only compute in queries. Okay, you can compute in forms and reports, but the best method, the professional method of computing, they are queries. Queries are the best because they can update, they can deduct, they can increase, and they can subtract, all sort of mathematics. Therefore, compute, wherever you see compute, then we are talking about queries. Wherever you see generate, anything to do with a report, we just create reports. Therefore, the first thing we need to do is to create our database. We can just right click, go to folder. We call this one Mwanzo Baraka, reloaded. Then we can open our folder, right click inside, then go to new. Then once you go to new, you launch Microsoft database and also rename it as Mwanzo Baraka. Then you double click on this one. Now, as our database opens, we need to note that we need a table that maintains members, and we have been told that during registration, the member details are captured. This one, the personal details are captured. Therefore, you have to have a table with the name, ID, such. Therefore, you just go to create, then we click on table design, and we start on. Therefore, our first table will be registration table. Therefore, you can just save this one. So registration table, whereby you shall have registration, that is member. The member is the one that is registering. Member ID, member name. Remember, you cannot use name here. A name is a reserved word. For instance, if I try to use a name, you see there is an error. The name you supplied is a reserved word. Reserved words have a specific meaning to Microsoft Access. Therefore, you cannot use date, time, form, class. You have to confuse the machine. Mname. But now when I'm creating on mname, first of all, I set this one as primary key. To set it as primary key is to make sure there is no duplication. Number two, you cannot leave that field blank, and also it uniquely identifies this field. Therefore, you can have our member ID there. Now, if I save this one we can call it registration. Now, if I run by clicking on view, if I run this, you'll notice that member ID is there, name is there, but I want them displayed otherwise. For example, member ID, I want it to display the member ID with the space. This one I want it to in full, membership name, member name. Therefore, you caption. This one I just go to member ID, then I go to caption. Now, if you look at your screen at the extreme right corner, there is an explanation of every field property. For example, when you go to caption, the label for the field when used on a form. Therefore, this one I need it to display as member ID. Then member name, when you go to caption, I want it displayed member name. Therefore, you caption. Then when I save and run, see what is happening. Look at my table. Whatever I want displayed has been displayed, you caption. But when you go to inner details, like programming or referencing, you'll notice that the computer will use the actual stuff, that is member ID and member name. Then the next field is date of contribution. You can just call it D of date of contributions. Okay, remember this is also a professional way of writing. Avoid space at all cost. Therefore, I would have written date of contribution, but this one is more of of a normal person, but a programmer need to write it this way. You can write by capitalizing the first letter of every word, or you can write it this way: date underscore of underscore contributions. Those are two. This is another professional way of doing it, by writing underscore. Remember, underscore you press shift and minus sign, but I would wish to go with this one because sometimes I may confuse with the minus sign. Now, date of contribution, this is date and time. Then we go to the next field. We have written the member ID. We also have to have the type. That is the type of membership. The type of membership. Then remember, this type, this part of description look at your screen on the right bottom corner. The field description is optional. It helps you describe the field and is also displayed in the status bar. Therefore, you may read it, but it is important. Right now, this is the member identification. The member identification that way. Now this is the member name. Therefore, whoever will come to use my database will have a very good and easy time, because he can see whatever I have written in the field name has been explained. Then from there, I will introduce you to a data type called a lookup wizard. This one will help me to restrict most of the entries. Therefore, I'll just go to type of membership, then I click on lookup wizard. Then there are two options. I will later show you how this one is applied. It is a professional way of doing things. Therefore, after now typing this, that is the type of membership. Just like I have showed you, I can introduce a new data type. We have a data type called lookup wizard. Therefore, I can just go to lookup wizard. There are two options. I want the lookup field to get the values from another table or query, or I will type the values that I want. Therefore, this is the best option to use for now. Therefore, remember, we have agreed we have two types of membership. We have individual, and we also have group. Therefore, a person may fall under the two categories, and then just click on finish. Another thing I may need to capture, the photo of the member. Therefore, I just go to the data types, the best data types. Okay, in many years ago, this was the only way to capture an object, but nowadays I would wish to go with attachment. Therefore, I click on attachment, and then here I can describe and say this is the photo of the member. Then after doing so, I just click on save. Then it is also very important to include the year. And remember, you cannot use the year as the keyword here. The year is also a reserved word, as you can see. Therefore, you can just call it EMEA. EMEA here. Now, this is the member joining year, or the current year, or the current year. We shall require that one so much. Then, after doing so, we are not yet through with the table. Remember, members will be contributing per month, and we need to tick, just like we tick registers, we need to tick the members. If a member contributes, we put a tick for that month. Therefore, we shall have the identifier of the month, that is January all the way to December. Therefore, you can just have M1 as for month 1, M2, M3, M4. Remember, this M here stands for the month. Then you have M4, M5, M6, M7, M7. Then you go down, M8. Then you go to M9. That is month 9, month 10, month 11. Then you have month 12. Then you have month 13. Yeah, 12 months. Then this one, we need to introduce the yes no data type, because this is Boolean. That means it is either the member contributed or did not contribute. Therefore, it is yes or no to enable us tick the members' eligibility, or this one. Therefore, this one is for month 1. Did the member contribute? Yes. Did the member not contribute? We leave it blank. Therefore, we shall have the year, and then the that is the year, then the month. Then from there, I think that one to some extent is almost complete. And therefore, if, for example, we just capture one member that way, then you go to the name, then you go to date. You shall see a small calendar here, enabling us to fill verify. Then look at the importance of lookup wizard. It will just allow me to choose very easily. Then the year 2020. Then this is whatever I was now doing. If the member has contributed for month 1, you just tick. If he or she didn't, you just leave it blank. Therefore, that is the importance of that one. Then this one shows there will be an attachment, that is the photo. Then we proceed to table 2. Now table 2, just go to create again, then table design. This time round, we shall not use the MID. We can just call it, this one is for the round. Therefore, let's use letter R to represent. Therefore, this is round, that is the round ID. You can just write in full round ID. Now the round ID, you can make this one an auto number and set it as the primary key. Then you shall have our M, that is our round. The other one was M. Let me just check. The other one was member ID, and then here you have round ID. Still, you can have the member ID, but we include letter L to avoid confusion during relationship. This one will tell me that this field comes from round and not registration. That's why I have put L. Therefore, this one is text, because even the other one is text. Then we shall have the date borrowed. Then we shall have date paid. Then we shall have the date paid. Then we have the penalties. We can just call it penalty. Then we have due date. Can have due date. Then we shall have what is the month? The months now can have Jan, Feb, March, April. Can write the shorter ones in full: April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Then you can have group share, that is the 200 bob. And then you can have the dividends. You can have duration, that is duration of payment. Can have interest. Okay, if in case when we shall be doing calculations, we can add any other default status, default can just have the status indicating whether somebody has defaulted or not. Then you need now to be very keen on data types. Right now, this is date and time. This is date and time. This is date and time penalty. This is currency. Or others, these ones are currency because they'll be contributing monthly shares. This is currency, 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 currency. This is a number. This is currency. Yeah, that one we can leave it that way. Therefore, what will be happening here? This field will create the relationship with this one. Yeah, remember this one M number. We can call this one. We can add M member ID for that is R. Sorry, R meaning it comes from registration table. Whereas this one we shall call it arrow member ID, showing it is coming from a table called rown. Therefore, just save our table as rows that way. Therefore, this R here, this one will help us to connect with this one. Only that now this is R for registration, whereas R for rown. Therefore, after now having these two main tables, we can add other tables as need be. We also need to add something here. This one we can call it rown year. The other one we can also change. This one is very important number. Then we can go back to this one. This one we called it M year. Very good. Then this one should be number. This is the year. And for the computer to automatically enter the year for us, let's just call this one the default value. We go to default value and type 2020. Therefore, if you leave that field blank, computer will automatically write for you 2020. Just go to your right hand side, bottom corner. You'll see that default value is automatically entered to new records, or if you leave it just blank. Therefore, I can just now save my work. You see 2020 has been entered because that is a new record which has not yet been filled. The same case will apply here. As I proceed entering new records, I will then have the record entered for me. Therefore, these are the two main tables that will be very, very important for the data entry. Then from here, we need to go to proceed and create the query. If I just go to create, then we go to query design. I double click rows, I double click registration, then I cross the dialog box. I have my two tables. Then I have my two tables here. Remember, this is the parent table. Just drag and drop, just for the purpose of making it clear and look smart. Therefore, you can just drag and drop the feeds or just double click. You can first of all feed one table data. Just double click. We have reached at M5. We have M6, M7. You can also scroll here to see whether they are being entered. M8, M9, M10, M11, M12. Then from there, we can go to the other one, rown ID, member ID, borrow date, date paid, penalty, due date. Proceed to Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August. Then September, October, November, December. Then group share, dividends, duration, interest, status, and then the area. Then I can just save this table of mine. Can just call it collabo. grab. Therefore, this is my query. It has nothing because I have not actually fed any data. Therefore, now I have a query. We are going on where. Then from here, we need now, first of all, to get some dummy data to feed on our table so that we can be in a position to proceed to the next level. Okay, now after creating the query, you need to copy data. Just insert some data. Like now, I have inserted some data to my two feeds, that is member name and the member ID. Therefore, this is how your table will look like. This is for ensuring that the member is saved, that is saved inside the database. If you go now to our question paper, you'll notice that we have answered this. Maintain record of members, maintain registration fee, we have answered that. Maintain monthly contributions, we have answered that. Now maintain records of loan borrowed, we have also answered that. In that, these two tables, we have the loans. This table will be in a position to see date borrowed, penalty. We need to add a loan or amount borrowed. But I have said we shall add some feeds as need be. Therefore, right now we have identified we need to add a field called amount borrowed. Amount borrowed. That way, that is currency. Therefore, we shall go on adding feeds as need be. Then the next thing now to do is to create relationship. But I may introduce a new method of creating relationship where you create relationship from the query grid, other than going to the normal one that we are used to, data, that is database tools and this. Now, there is something very important you need to know. If you are very keen at the start of the table, I made sure that the data type in member ID is exact the data type in member ID in loans table. Only that I include R to represent loan and R to represent registration. Therefore, what you need to do is to drag and drop. This one will be related to that one. Then I double click on this line. It will open join properties. Now this is where I recreated my relationship. For more information, you can click this question mark for help. Therefore, I instruct the database engine that all feeds from the mother table should be copied to the child table. And that's why I have placed it to the left and the other one to the right. Therefore, include all records from registration, that is the mother table, and only those records from loans where the joins are equal. Therefore, I use that option. Then I click on OK. You see, it will put an arrow showing me that the mother table feeds the other one or copies the data to the other one. Then I also include the year. The year is also very important, and therefore I equate the year also, that M year equals to R year. And then double click this join dialog box and I do the same. Include all from mother table, that is a registration, towards the loan table. That one is also a relationship. Then I will be in a position to save this. Like for instance, if I cross this one and not save, you see my query has nothing. There is no data in my query because there is no relationship. And therefore I go back, right click, go to design view, then you do the same again. That the primary key of this one, that is the from the mother table goes to this one. Then I double click. Then I include all records from registration. We are now creating the relationship. Then we go to here. The M here, the parent here equals to the child here. I double click also, and then include all records from registration to that one. Then I save this one. Now you see, after I have done that, the computer has understood and has copied data to the query. Now that is a very important step. Then from there, if you are very keen, if I right click on this table, then go to design view, then go to properties. If I click the properties of the primary key here, you realize that it is indexed, no duplicates. Is it indexed? Yes, no duplicates. Sorry, indexed, duplicates. There is no duplicates for. Sorry. I'm sorry for that. I want to look at this. This one. I am interested in this one. In the error member ID, we go to index. Indexed, no. It is not indexed. Indexed, no. Should it be indexed? Duplicates, okay. This one should allow duplicates. Yes, duplicates, okay. Because one member may borrow loans in 2 consecutive times. But when we go to, that is index, yes, duplicates, okay. But when we go to the mother table, it shall not allow duplicates. This field should not allow duplicates. Index, yes, no duplicates. It has even assigned itself that way because of referential integrity. That is, you set the primary key, and we said the purpose of primary key is to disallow duplication. Therefore, that is a very important tip that I have given you, this one, and you have seen it working, that if this one is removed, then there will be no data. But once it is assigned, there is data. Therefore, that one will be a very important concept to understand. Then, after doing this, we need to proceed to our table, our form, sorry. Therefore, we shall go to our form design. Then, after having our form design, we can assign some color, some beauty to that form. Then you right click, you go to form stroke, that is form stroke, form header stroke footer, so that you can assign the parts of the form header, form footer, and also we have the others that way. First of all, we shall start. We need to create a registration form whereby members will be registered. Therefore, we just go to property sheet. Then instead of detail, we choose form. Then always start with this point, data. Record set type, dynaset. Dynaset are the results of the table. Therefore, always change this one to inconsistent updates. It determines which tables you can edit and what data is there, whether the data is editable or not. If you don't put that, some data may not be editable. Therefore, make sure you start by data, then you change the dynaset to inconsistent data dynaset. Then you go to OR, you scroll upwards. The next thing is to go to default view. This one, you change it from single to continuous. Those are the two important things. Then number 3, you go to record source and choose where you want your data to come from. Like now, I want my data to come from Korabo. That is my query. And then I can save my form now. We can call it registration. Remember, you can call a query and you can name a query and a form, or a table and a form the same name, but you can never name queries and tables the same. That is also a very crucial point to know. Now, once you do that, you have redirected, you have informed Microsoft's form engine that you can now pick data from the property sheet. Therefore, just now we have clicked on property sheet. Now this is a time now we go to add existing fields. Therefore, these are our fields, and therefore I only pick the important ones. Like for instance, I need to have the member ID and also the arrow ID. I also have the ones with the relationship must be there. Then the arrow here. We also need to have the M here. Then after having that, we shall have the member name, date of contribution, type of membership. We can also have their photo here. Yeah, let's first of all work with those ones. Therefore, what you need to do here is to remove the labels. The labels are the fade one. Then this one should be the first one here. Remember, since we have joins or relationship, we have the mother and that is the parent and the child. The child field should not be visible. Therefore, you go back, you click here and enable the properties. Then this one should not be visible. You go to where visible is and say no. Only the parent field that will be visible. This happens, this happens only when you have two equal fields. Remember, I have equated these two fields. I have equated the member ID to this one. I also equated here. Therefore, the year, this one should not also be visible, but M here should be visible. Then we have the member name. You remember to delete the labels, these fade ones. Then we have the others. We shall just place them the way they are. They are all from the parent table. Therefore, this is the name and the date. Then we have the member type. Then we have the photo of the contributor. Then we pull the footer upwards. Remember to save. After crossing the property sheet, now need to put the labels here. For example, you just go up here to the design. Then I click on label. Then I can draw my title. My title up there. This is my title is Mwanzo Baraka. Mwanzo Baraka Management Information System. Then you click outside the label, then inside again, then go home, increase the font size. I can change the color, bold, can change the font type. Which don't need it to be Broadways. Let me just go with Arial, something that is readable. Then I put it maroon. Don't put a very shouting color. Then after doing this, if you have a logo, you can put a logo up, down here. Then you can go back to the side. Then take another label. And draw it. Then we have the member ID. We have the year. We have member name. We have date of contributions. Then type of member. Then we have the photo. We have the type of the member. That one. Then you can also bold that one. Go home. You assign color and bold. Then after now doing so, you can save your form and run. Therefore, after running the form, you'll notice that now I have a registration form where I can now register members. Can just go on registering members and or including the details that are missing, like I am doing. This probably comes from a group member that way. Then after doing this, I need to capture the photo. You just double click, then add. Now once you double click and then add, you just go to where the pictures are, and you can add the members. That way, now that can be somebody, probably that is a member there. You can also double click, add another member. Like for instance, you can add this member that way. Once you can remove the member and then add another member. So assume that is another member. Therefore, you can see the system is now capturing the photos, and registration now will continue, having the data that you want: member ID, year, member name, date of contribution, type of member, just as assigned by the lookup wizard. Then I can be in a position to add whatever I want. And you can see the data is being displayed. This is read from the mother table, and it is in continuous way. We have 39 members down here if you look at it. Then after now having this, we need also to create another very important form, that is the form whereby we shall be ticking the members who has contributed the amounts. We tick, then from ticking we shall now relate the checked and the actual contribution capture. Therefore, you just go to create, then we go to design view. We repeat the same process again. We right click, we go to we assign column, then we right click again, go to form header and footer. Then we direct our data. Where are we getting our data? We go to property sheet, then remember what I have told you, start with the data, change this one to inconsistency data, then go to OR. Now when you are at OR, you scroll upwards, go to default view, change this one to continuous form, then you cross that one. But if I want to get data from my query, I go back to property sheet, then record source, the first one. You choose Corabo, that is our query, and then save. And now this one will be check-in. Can just call it check-in. Then after now having that, this is one of the very important tables, that is forms, sorry. Therefore, I go to add existing sheet. Then I do the same thing I have done earlier. I go also to member ID. I have also that one. These ones, remember these ones I have told you, just for the child you press not visible. Then we go back to add existing. Then we have now the member name. We remove the label. The label is not important for now. We just assign the member name. Then we have the year. We remove this one. We go to the other one. You also get the year. We first of all get the fields that are very crucial. That is the ones that were used in relationship. This one, you go to properties. You just put it not visible. It will just be there because of relationship, to make sure that data is displayed, and when you enter, it is duplicated in the child table. That is the importance of putting it there. Then after doing so, now we need to put put these ones, the 12 of them, M1, M2, M3, all the way. We can just start with M1. We assign it there. We remove the labels. Remember to arrange them systematically. That is M3. We have reached M3, M4, M5, M6, M7. So you arrange them according to how you need them displayed. Then we have M8, M9, M10. This is M8. Then we have can just check which one is this one. This is M10. So I'm not repeating M10. I go to M11, M12. So M10 again. If I put 11, I remove the label. I put 12. Good. Then after doing this, this is when now I tick this one. This is for month 1, month 2, up to month 12, and I will be that is doing it for these members here. Therefore, I need to pull this one up to where my data starts. That way, then I can pull this down because I need the headers here. Therefore, I just put some label here. Then this one starts with the member ID, then the name. This is the year. Then we have month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6, month 7, month 8, month 9, month 10, month 11, month 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Therefore, let's just verify where probably we might have some mistake. We have made a mistake. Therefore, just click this one. This is month 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have repeated month 3. Therefore, I delete this. Month 4, month 5, month 6, month 7, month 8, month 9, month 10, month 11, 12. Therefore, this is 3, this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, month 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Then, after now doing so, can just put this one to some visible color. That way. Then you can hold shift if you want to move all of them at once, and then click each, just like you do grouping. Then you can use the arrow key to move them a bit, just like I have done. Yeah, we are doing well. Then after doing this, we can assign the heading to our project here. Mwanzo Baraka management system. This is check in form. Then you click outside, then inside, then home. You assign some color, then you increase the font size. Check-in form that way. Then after doing so, you can save and then run. Now see, I have created a check-in form. This will be used to tick. Right now, I have indicated that this guy, Samuel Minor, has paid month 1. If he has paid month 2, month 3, like that. Therefore, if he skip month 5, month 6, paid month 7, that way. And you can also have some total here. You can add a feed of total to show how many months somebody has paid. The computer will automatically check. Then there is also a very important point here. You don't need the user, the secretary or the clerk or the data entry person to edit this. He should only edit this part. Therefore, you have to disable this part. Therefore, you just right click, go to design view, then go to properties, make sure the property sheet is here. Then you can pull this a bit down. I select that one. Then go to data, enabled, no. You go also to this one. You go to enabled, no. You pull this one, enabled, no. That way. Then can pull this back. The person will only read that way. Therefore, this one cannot be edited, but the user can only edit the part that he or she is required to edit. Then if you go to the last point here, we need to disable this thing. You see there is an additional row that is empty here. For this form, it is for only check-in. Therefore, you don't need this field, the last one. Therefore, we remove it by right-clicking, go to design view, then go to property sheet, then go to this other field. You choose form up here. Then once you choose form, you go to data, then go to allow additions. You select no. Allow additions, select no, then save your work. Now when I run the form and go to the last row, you will not see that one. Very good. You see there is no that empty field because we are not actually allowing the user to add. Therefore, this is the check-in form where the monthly contributions will be controlled. And then what is the relationship now between this one and the actual data capture? Therefore, let's go and create another form for the actual now monthly capture. You will see the relationship, they are very varied. Therefore, let's create another form that will now show the relationship between now that is the check-in, this one, and the whatever I have done here should be duplicated on the other place. Therefore, if somebody is not checked in, there is no point. He will not be in a position to contribute. Therefore, let's go back. We go to create again. This time round, we go to form. Sorry for that. No, we just go to create. Then we go to form design. Then you do the whatever you have been doing so far. Just go to assign color, then assign header, and that is the header and the detail. Then we can now save this one as that is shares entry. This is how now we shall assign the shares. Therefore, you just go back as we have done. Properties, you start with the data, Dynascent, set to inconsistent updates, then go to OR, scroll upwards. Then the next thing we have agreed is the default view, set to continuous form. Then go to the next thing is record source. Tell the computer where you are getting data from. If you have 20 tables, 20 queries, you will see all of them here. Just choose. But for me, I have specialized in the Corabo. Therefore, I will click on my Corabo. Then I cross this one. Then I save to make sure that the database engine is actually getting the data. Then the next thing I need to do is to go to add existing list. We do there just like we have been doing, to remove the labels. Remember the ones that have been created, the feeds that were used to create joins or relationship must be there. Therefore, this one must be there. Then the next one that must be there is this. You remove the labels. The labels are the ones in your left hand side. Then we go to the other one. We also remove the label on your left hand side. Then first of all, we allocate this. This is the mother table. Therefore, this one we go to properties, tell the machine not visible, just like we have been doing. Then you place this on top of this. Then we also, the one with error, not visible, that is a child. The child should not be visible at this juncture. Then we have this one placed there. Then we have the name of the member. That is very important. Member name. We can remove this one. We assign the member name. Then after assigning the member name, we now go to the actual contributions. That is, you can start with January. We arrange January there. Feb. We arrange Feb. Then we can arrange March. Then we have April. Then May. We have so far in May. Then we have June. Then we have July. We have August. Then September. We have October. Now remember, I'm doing this in the view of a student. October, then November, we have November, then we have December. That way, then we can go down here and pull the foot up to this point. Then save our work and run. Therefore, first of all, you can see whatever you have. Then now after doing this, you realize that our form is too long. It is too long, and probably I would not opt for this method of creating like a spreadsheet where we have all the months displayed, though it is also a good method of capturing the monthly, that is the monthly shares. For this one, you can just put a label, just like we have done for the others. We pull this up to December, and then have the year, ID, name, Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, all the way to to December, then go home, assign the colors. Therefore, if you look at this one, this is a spreadsheet like format of capturing the monthly contributions, but there is a more organized way of doing this so that our check-in, this one can work very well with this one. We shall introduce a bit of simple coding whereby that one will make sure that this share entry is more organized. Therefore, instead of now doing all this, creating a spreadsheet with the two wrong form, you can reduce this one and minimize to almost up to here where there is this word text formatting. By doing so, you need to introduce the use of toggle buttons. Therefore, you can introduce the use of toggle button and a bit of coding, whereby we shall be in a position to control everything. Therefore, let me take you through that one. I'll just be slow and sure. Therefore, you just right click, then go to design view. Then we can first of all start by removing this. Then after removing this one, we rearrange these ones. We place the month on top of the other month. Therefore, I'll come at this point and then press February on top of. You press all the months on top of each other. You press every month on top of each other. We are saving on space, making our work organized and neat, attractive, and we shall really enjoy whatever I'll be showing you. I just need, therefore, we need to save the file, the size of the application. Therefore, you just place this one on top of each other. Just need to know the name of every month. Now, after doing so, you can bear me witness that now I can have the row here, duration, and the others without having a very long form. Therefore, after now doing this, what next am I supposed to do? For example, I can just highlight all of this up to this point, then pull them a bit. Let us have let them remain there. Then after now doing this, I needed to introduce, I reuse 12 toggle buttons up here, other than now having a very long form. If I can also reduce this size of this form of mine up to that point. Therefore, my form is up to that point so far. I can just take it to 10 so that we can be in a position to see the end. Therefore, we can first of all assign our title here. Go to label and then assign our title. Mwanzo Baraka Management System. Now this is the shares capture form, and then we can go home and assign a bit of that. Then now we need to have our toggle buttons here. We are done with this. You can just pull this upwards up to that point. Yeah, that way. Then save. Now when you run, it will look something like this. Then I can just go back to design view. Remember, I want to take you through some coding. Therefore, make sure you are well prepared and ready. Then this is toggle. Therefore, we shall just arrange your toggle buttons here. This is January. Therefore, when you are contributing for January, then we shall have another one here. February. Then we can is for March. This is too big. You want to save on space and be more organized. This is March. Then we can have April. Then we can have May and June. This is July. This is August. You must have a very good mouse to avoid this, to avoid a lot of disturbance. August, then you have this is September, then we have October, November, and then we have the last one. Then we can have December here. December. Therefore, when I'll be clicking these buttons, the written codes will actually work. Therefore, I can save this one. When we run, therefore our system looks like that, very attractive. We still go back. I can take this one that way. Okay, it looks smart. After doing that, you'll be in a position to now write just a few lines of code. Very simple code, in fact. These are codes that students will actually enjoy writing because they are so simple. Therefore, after now having that graphical user interface for January, when I click on January, it will only display January here for everybody. And therefore, I feed January for everybody without interfering with other months. And when you click on February, hides January and displays February. Therefore, let's go on. Then we need to have a label here displaying which month we are dealing with. Therefore, you can draw a label here, a good label. Then you tap space, because if you don't tap space, it will disappear. Therefore, now you can see it is there. Then I can format it by giving it the color and the size of name that I will want it there. Then we can see, we can check what do we call this label. Just click on it, then go to design, then go to properties. It is label 36. That is the name of the label. Just like I have showed you on the other form, then the user is not supposed to edit this. Therefore, you just go to data and then enabled. No, should not be enabled. The user is not supposed to edit. This is disabled. The user should only tamper with this. Even now, the calculations, the run, duration, and the others should be automatic and disabled. The user should not be in a position to edit that because it is not actually necessary to do that. Therefore, let's go to first coding. The first coding is that when these form rows, this one should not be displayed. No month should be displayed. Therefore, you go to design view. Let me repeat. You just right click, go to design view, then go to properties, then choose form. coding on the form. Whatever should appear here is whatever you are coding for. Then I go to event. These are the activities that should happen. I actually event driven. Therefore, I go to on road. This is the macro function that runs when the form or report is loaded, but we are dealing with the forms. Therefore, what happens when this form of ours loads? Therefore, I go to this down arrow key, that is the drop down list. I select event procedure, then I click on the three dots. It will open the coding window for Mwanzo Baraka, and therefore I will instruct the engine when this form loads, what happens. And therefore we shall do a bit of simple coding, but very important. Therefore Jan dot, when you click and this one doesn't appear, then you have misspelled the name. Therefore Jan dot visible should be false. The same case, feb dot visible should be false. The same, all months, March dot visible should be false. Then April dot visible should be false. Then May dot visible should be false. Then June dot visible should be false. June, July dot visible should be false. Should be false. October dot visible, November should also be false. Then December should also be false. Very good. Now that is the simple code. Actually, you should not fear coding because it is very simple. There is nothing much I have done. Just instructing the engine that the January label is not visible, it is false. Therefore, we shall just be turning false to true and true to false. Then here, option explicit. That one should be there. Then, after now having done this, if I run my form, you see there is nothing. It has hidden because I have instructed it that whenever I run the form, nothing should be visible. That is, the text boxes should be hidden. Now, let's go to a very important point. When I click January, it should only open January and hide all others. Therefore, you do the same. You go to design view, then you go to now coding of individual button. We code on January. We go to event. Then when I click January, what happens? When I click that toggle 22, but for now it is called January. When I click toggle 22, that is January, what happens? Therefore, I go to event procedure, click these three dots, and after doing so, I have pasted the label because I need it there. Then I only copy this. Therefore, there is no much coding at here. We just type this one, copy that one, then paste it here. Now, you will change all others to false apart from January. Only January will be true. Only January will be true. And for the easy identification of future programmer who may need to edit your work, you can put a comments. Remember, in Form 3 syllabus, we teach comments, internal documentation. We have two types of documentation, internal and external. Therefore, this is an internal documentation. Therefore, this is a code for January. Therefore, whoever will come in future to edit this program will have an easy time. It will turn green. It will turn green, showing you that it is non-executable. Then another thing should happen. When I click January, it will hide all the others and display January. But this label code label 36.caption. The label should display the name January. I'm feeding January. There is no any other code that I write. I have now finished. I only copy this and paste and edit. Therefore, this is label 36. I save this one, cross. Now, this is the label we are talking about. It is called label 36. Therefore, when I click January, label 36 will display the word January. That's what I'm doing. Therefore, when I click on save, when I click January, see for yourself, it will write January and open January. Then, when now I click February, it should hide January and display February, or else, rather, it will hide all the others and display itself. Then I can now feed only January for everybody. But before we go so far, there is this check-in. As in, only the guys, if I need to feed January, only the guys who have been checked in should be displayed. Like now, I have 7 out of 39. Therefore, I don't expect to see 39 out of 39 displayed, since not everybody checked in for January. That is the work of the data entry clerk. Therefore, like in January, let me randomly tick. In February, there are 13. They are these guys. Okay, there are 7 also. There are 12. That is who have checked in for February. The other months, there are one guy. Only the first guy who has paid everything. We can sample and click several just to be fair on to see how system will work. Okay, for January we have seen we have 11 guys. Therefore, we need to introduce a code. This one, it is called me.filter. Therefore, you just write it down. It is a very important code. This code will now connect this one and this one, and you write it on every button. Just rename the word of the button in that code. For example, let me do it practically. We shall go to design view, then we go to January. Now, when I click this is the code for January, I will introduce that code here. That is me.filter equals to January. That is to only filter Jan. It will only filter Jan. Jan, yes. That is to say, only feeds that have been assigned yes. Yes is ticking. If it is not ticked, then it is no. And therefore, the system will only check Jan and display only those ones who are from Jan when I click Jan. Therefore, when I click Jan, okay, there is probably some spelling mistake. That's why nothing has been displayed. Therefore, we confirm from our system how Jan has been written. Therefore, we shall not use Jan, but M1. Make sure that one is very clear. I have said, yes, whatever has been assigned yes and no, it's not Jan, it is M1. Therefore, I'll go to my code and change Jan to M1. What has been ticked, it is M1. That field is called M1. Now it should work that way. And therefore, when now I run and click Jan, see for yourself, it has displayed 8 guys. And if I go to check in and count literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's just be very keen on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Therefore, let's go back to this one and refresh. I will refresh this one and see whether it should display actually the actual numbers, unless there is a problem in the admission number. First of all, let's correct this. It has duplicated this twice. There is a mistake here. Member ID error here. You see now there is a mistake here. This one should be. We did a mistake on this. Just a moment. This is, we check which is this is not visible. This is correct. Then this one should not be there. Rather should be the year, the M year. That can also bring complications. We bring the M year here. We put this back. This original. Okay, this is the M year. This is okay. It is even disabled. Then we bring the M year here. We also remove this one. This one is not important. We bring our M year there. Then save and display. Just a moment. There is no M name. M name. We bring the member name. Remove the label. And that way. Then it's also important to indicate what is this, just to make our program more user friendly. This is the year. This is the year. This is the member ID. This is the member, and this is the name. That way, just like we have done in others. Let's just be very organized to create a professional system. Therefore, we go to assign color, bold, can make it 12. Yeah, good. Now our system looks like that and more organized. Then that is, you can see now the year and the member ID, but still this one should be disabled. Therefore, we go to properties, data, enabled, no. Yeah, good. Therefore, this is how our system looks like. Still, we disable this one just to make it the way it was. It should not be enabled. Yeah, our system should look like that. Therefore, you can now see the relationship between the check-in, that is the check-in, and the that is the check-in here. That is the check-in and the other form. Therefore, if now I cross this check-in this way, you see there is nobody. I have unticked everybody. There is nobody who has contributed for January because I have actually put 0. But now if I put some several guys there and then I cross this one, yeah, just to appear, you see there are 5 guys who have been added for January. Whatever we did also in the other video, it is important to remove this field. It's not necessary. Therefore, you go to properties, sheet, then you choose form here. You choose form here, then allow additions, no, and then you save your work. Therefore, we should not have an addition form here. This is not for adding, it's only for feeding. Therefore, let's carry on and code for the other months as we understand more and more. Therefore, you go to view code. That is, we go to February, you go to property sheet, then you go to event, then on click, then you press the 3 dots, copy this, copy everything here. This one should be here just for editing. We copy everything and now interchange. Therefore, we shall have M2 now instead of M3. M2 is February, then this one should be February. Then true should be January, should be false. Now the only that one that will be true is that one. Then we go back, we code for March, go to on click, event procedure, we paste the code, we change this one to M3. M3 is for March, this one is March. Then this one January, This is false. Therefore, the only true is match. We carry on. We go to April on click event. We paste the code. This is M4. This is April. April. This one is April. This is March. Then we save. March. And copy that. Then true is April. That is true. Then we carry on. We go for May. We do the same. And this is May. We go to where May is. And we go for June. We paste. This is June. June. Save. Go to July. Paste. This is M5. This is M6. This is M7. We go to July, it's through. We go to August. Now August is through. And this is M8. This is August. Then we go to September. We paste. September is through. This is 9. September, this is September, M8, August are good. Then we go to October. Now October, October is through. This M10. This is October. Then we have November. Paste. November is through. Then this is M11 and November. Lastly, go to this one, paste. This December. December is true, or there should be false. Then this one should read M12, month 12. This one is December. Good. Now after doing so, when I run now this one and I click different months, you see what is happening. It is only bringing the guys who have been checked in for that month, and therefore I've been in a position now to feed the months accordingly. If, for example, there is a month like let's put this one, let's put many guys but in different concepts. Therefore, in the case somebody did not pay for a certain month, he or she will not be displayed. Therefore, only the guys who have been checked in will be in a position to that way. Then I cross this one to apply. I can hit F5. Now, if I click on January, 9 people, July, 8, August, that way. I'll be in a position to feed. If I need February, writes for me February. This one can format it to be center. That way. Therefore, if I click January, should it be January, June, April. Right now, when I click July, it is displaying April. Therefore, I can debug. Just going to July. I go to where July is. Yeah, this one should be written July. That way. Therefore, you can just debug and save your work. Therefore, when I click July, should read July. Therefore, so far you have seen this one is a bit organized by use of the toggle buttons to control this one. Therefore, I'll also be in a position to see the total contribution here by adding another button. Then I can add another button for other that is for other. Okay, the next thing we need to notice is how to get the total shares here contributed by somebody. Therefore, you just go to design view. Then we can check whether we had such a field, total shares. We did not have that field here. It should actually be in the child table rows. Total shares. Can add total shares. Then that way we can also drop it here. Otherwise, it will not work. If you don't drop it in this field, should appear in the query because you are actually using the query. Therefore, when I go to design, then I go to add existing, and then scroll down, I get my field total. Then I can now cross this one. We agreed to remove the label. Therefore, I need my total share here. Can pull this back. Now, to calculate the total share here, I need to add the months. We need to add the months. Therefore, we need to add the months here. We put the months. Therefore, it will be equals to Jan equals to Jan plus Feb plus March plus April plus May plus June plus July plus August plus September plus October plus December, November plus December. However, if there Then I copy this. If there is spelling mistake, then I might not get the actual answer. Therefore, I just paste it here. Just paste that formula here, and then I can try to display hash name. Then probably there is a mistake. You can just confirm with the table how you wrote Jan, Feb, March, June. Then you can just confirm equals to Jan plus Feb. September, October, November, December. And they all should be the same data type. Yeah, okay, should not actually be correct. Therefore, if we feed 1,000 here, then we feed 1,000 there. We continue feeding. Okay, thank you very much for watching that video. Remember to subscribe and share. Subscribe and share. Then the next video will be I will be showing you how to calculate loans. If I show you how to calculate loans, I will also show you how to update loans. We shall calculate dividends and interest. Also, we shall look at the defaulters, how defaulters traced and how defaulters penalized. Therefore, we shall also be calculating the penalties. Therefore, watch out for the next video. That is the one that will enable you to calculate, have the calculations done. We shall calculate now the loan. We shall update the loans and also calculate the dividends. Therefore, thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe on my channel so that you can also receive more and more videos. Thank you very much. God bless you.